Hello, dear friends. One of my subscribers sent me a device for repair that I've never repaired before. It's an electron microscope. The defect doesn't turn on. The problem occurred after connecting a counterfeit USB-C cable with the positive and negative terminals reversed. Consequently, the microscope experienced a power supply reversal. Usually, after such tricks, the equipment burns out beyond repair, as the cost of repairs exceeds the cost of the equipment itself. But we'll see how it goes this time. The owner attempted to repair the microscope himself, but it didn't work. There are no short-circuited or clearly burned out components on the electronics board. It's unclear what failed and what needs to be replaced. Overall, it's complicated, which is why they sent the equipment to me. Well, I'll try to repair it. So, I inspect the microscope's exterior. It has no damage. It looks great. I connect the included cable that came with the microscope from the factory. There's no power consumption from the power supply. On one hand, this is good, since we won't find any short-circuited components on the board. But on the other hand, this will complicate the repair, since we'll have to figure out how the power supply system works to identify the faulty component. I proceed to disassemble the case to find and remove the circuit board. I disassemble it using a screwdriver. By the way, in case you're interested in any of my tools, I'll leave links to the most popular items in the description under the video. I fold back the front panel. Two cables extend from it to the board, from the display and control buttons. I disconnect them. Now we can inspect the main board. I remove the metal cover to examine all the components. This is where the power supply, converters, and voltage stabilizers are located. The flash memory chip is also on this side of the board. Now it's time to take some measurements. Let's start by checking the input power. 5 volts from the USB-C connector. I measure directly from the pins. 5 volts is present. This voltage then goes to the nearest DC-DC converter. Its output is only 1.1 V. There's no voltage on the other converters. There's also no voltage on the flash memory chip. Without this, the microscope simply won't start, since the processor has nowhere to read information. There's no voltage on the voltage stabilizers either. In fact, only one DC-DC converter is powered. Maybe that's the problem, but I think we should also examine the back of the board. Maybe we'll find something important there. I unscrew the screws. Next, I disconnect the camera cable and remove the second cover from the board. This is where the processor and RAM are located. There's also a battery for the volatile memory. The board is in perfect condition on both sides, with no obvious defects. I couldn't find any schematics for this microscope model, so repairs have to be done mostly intuitively, connecting the logic. I check the power supply to the processor. There's no voltage on the components in its circuitry. The processor is de-energized. I got the impression that the converter located next to the power connector is responsible for powering the entire board. It's the only converter on the board that produces any voltage, albeit low. Let's check the specifications for this driver to see what output voltage range it's designed for. The casing is marked 322. I typed it into the AliExpress search bar, and it immediately returned a card with the chip model. From there, it wasn't hard to find the specifications. They state that the driver can output from 4 to 15 V. This is the working output voltage range. In fact, our voltage is around 1 volt, which is outside the working range. This could indicate a possible failure of the microcircuit. This is, of course, provided that power is supplied to the microcircuit's input and there is no low resistance at the output. These conditions are met in my case. I've replaced the same driver before during previous repairs, so I have a few left over. I won't have to wait for an order from the marketplace. Well, let's get started with the replacement. I desolder the old component. I use a hot air gun. I can't give you the exact temperature, as I usually start with a lower value, for example, 300 degrees, and gradually increase it until the solder under the component melts. The old component is desoldered. I apply flux, install the new microcircuit, and solder it. This is what the final result looks like. I check the resistance with a multimeter. There is no short circuit at the input or output of the microcircuit. This means I can connect the power supply. The indicators light up. Clearly, the processor is working. The converter's output is now 5.2 V. This is within the chip's operating range. Previously, it was only 1 V. Well, great. I connect the display and turn on the board again. An image appears. Power consumption is about 300 milliamperes. Now I can connect the camera and assemble the housing. So, the microscope is working. I finally assemble the housing and move on to testing. No additional defects were revealed during testing. The microscope displays images on the screen and records video to the memory card. Overall, it works smoothly, with minimal lag. It's convenient to work with. I can send the equipment back to the owner. And I hope you won't connect any questionable cables to it again. Dear friends, that's all for today. Thank you all for your attention, and see you at other repairs. Until then. A small correction. In fact, the WS322D chip is an overvoltage protection device. If the voltage supplied to its input is outside the acceptable range, which is set by the resistive divider at pin 5, the integrated field effect transistor of the microcircuit closes and prevents current from reaching the output, thereby protecting the load from potential overvoltage. If all is well, the voltage at the input of this microcircuit should equal the voltage at the output. Simply put, this characteristic is the main difference between this microcircuit and voltage stabilizers or voltage converter drivers.